Hello everybody, Doug Brown here from Death by Digital. I'm very excited about our second episode of Death by Digital Digs. Today we're going to be talking about shaped vinyl. Now traditionally records are circular. That's because a needle obviously goes around in a circle, and that's the best way of getting the sound out. Now that said, some records aren't just a traditional circle, and some of you might be used to seeing maybe a square flexi disc. This is because the way flexi discs are made, it's actually easier to make it a square than a circle, just based on how it's cut afterwards. But today we're going to be talking about some records that are a little different than that. We're going to talk about all different types of shapes. Now again, these are just from my collection, so I encourage all of you, if you have a shaped record, please add it in the comments to tell me about it. Maybe it's something I don't know about, maybe something that other people don't know about as well. So let's check some of these out. Up first, we have a split between two bands, a band called Marrow and a band called Mascha Tazo. Very, very good music here, definitely grind, death metal oriented. Mascha Tazo are actually one of my favorite all-time grind bands. But what's kind of unique about this record in particular is the shape. It's shaped like a buzzsaw. Like a lot of these shaped records, the needle needs to kind of sit slightly inwards, so a 12-inch record, depending on how much of the shape, might actually only be a 10-inch record or a 9-inch record based on how much surface area is actually able to play. This one actually looks pretty cool when it's spinning, which I'll show you right now, and definitely a split to check out between both bands. I don't know a whole lot about Marrow, to be honest. I know this is their second release. The first was a full length of theirs, and then obviously this split. Mascha Tazo, tons of full lengths, tons of splits. They're from Spain, kind of considered pioneers of a genre of gore grind called horror grind based on the lyrical content. Definitely check out this split if you can. Up next on Gold Standard Laboratories, we have Flight of the Wounded Locust by the band The Locust. Fantastic band. I don't really know how to classify them. They have some power violence sections, some death metal elements, and certainly some grind elements in there too. Definitely kind of a spastic band, and obviously if you check them out, they dress up in Locust costumes, which is pretty rad. What I like about this record in particular is it's a 4 7-inch set, and when you open up the 7 inches, I'll pull one out here, they're all shaped like different puzzle pieces, and they actually lock together to create one square. I believe the actual playing area on the inside of this 7-inch is closer to I want to say probably like a 5-inch because of so much of the area that is kind of missed here where you can't actually put it on. Obviously the production costs on this would have been pretty ridiculous, and each of these is in a different color. Definitely something to check out by The Locust. Up next, we're going to deviate from punk metal and grind and go over to one of my favorite films of all time, and that is Ghostbusters. They did a limited edition, I guess this is like an 8 or a 9-inch record. A lot of non-playable area here as it bleeds out on the end, but you can listen to the song in the center just like a regular 7-inch, though it spans much greater than that. I'm not sure how many of these were made. It was made by Arista Records, which was obviously putting out a lot of stuff in the 80s and early 90s. And definitely check out this one if you haven't seen it. Up next, we have an album by the Mars Volta. They're one of my all-time favorite bands. The Bedlam and Goliath is what this is called. It's a double LP, but it actually comes with a bonus disc, and I'll show it to you right now. This one is, a song called Mr. Muggs, which is not included on the CD version, and it is shaped like a Ouija board, meant that you can actually play with it as a piece. When you open up the actual record, obviously we have these letters on the inside. It's a super cool little feature. A lot of fun from the band. I'll admit this isn't my favorite album of theirs, but certainly a very, very good effort. If you're not familiar with them, they are, kind of post-punk, kind of proggy, all over the place in terms of their sound. Awesome musicians, kind of born out of the ashes of the band at the Drive-In after they broke up. Definitely check out this LP if you haven't heard it. And finally, we're going to be talking about the Jump in the Fire picture disc by Metallica. This picture disc was shaped like the demon himself here. There you can see the back of it. I have several different versions of this. This one here has the barcode, which means it's the second pressing. The first pressing of this does not have a barcode. What I'm going to demonstrate here is, like all items that make it to the public, there's obviously a test item that makes it out first. We call these test pressings, and here's a test pressing of that disc. So it's the exact same thing as we saw before, except as you can see, it has not yet been cut. So you can see kind of like the circular area here. These are incredibly hard to find, and I guess there's even, and as well, there's even a first and second pressing of the test pressing, making them both hard to find, but obviously the first pressing without barcode is much more difficult to find. Thank you very much for tuning in to our second episode of DBD Digs. Please subscribe. We're going to be releasing tons of content all the time. And again, this section is going to be dedicated to record and record-related things. If you have anything that you want to see, please post it in the comments. Thanks.